George Harrison was initially hesitant to join the Beatles' anthology project in the mid-1990s, feeling it might not tell the band's story in the way he believed it should. Although he eventually agreed, he soon discovered the process was far from simple. Known as the Quiet Beatle, Harrison became unusually outspoken during production, clashing with director Bob Smeaton over scenes he considered misleading and damaging, particularly those that focused on the group's darker moments. Harrison had long been disillusioned with fame and money, often recalling his years with the Fab Four with indifference or even resentment. He once described himself as little more than a session player, while Lennon and McCartney dominated. Looking back on the exhausting touring years, he admitted those times had taken a toll on both his mental and physical health. Author Joshua M. Green noted that Harrison was reluctant to participate, but didn't want to miss the only chance to tell the Beatles' story in their own words. Still, he admitted the challenge of creating a unified version when each surviving member, and Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, wanted to put forward their own perspective. He recognized that it could never be more than a compromise. The real conflict came when Smeaton pushed to include unflattering material, like the infamous argument between Harrison and McCartney during the Let It Be sessions, as well as rumors about the band's time with the Maharishi in India. Harrison strongly opposed this, believing that fans would take sensationalized depictions at face value. He insisted that repeating untrue stories only served to give them credibility, and described such scenes as unnecessary and harmful. Although Harrison's resistance caused tension, Green wrote that he eventually softened, seeing value in the project as a way for the Beatles to reclaim their narrative. He began to appreciate that, after decades of outsiders profiting from the band's legacy, anthology allowed the members themselves to reflect on their music and history. By the time it was completed, Harrison admitted that the distance of more than 2 decades had made it easier to revisit the past with a clearer perspective. Now, with the upcoming release of the Beatles Anthology 2025, expanded with a new part and a 4th compilation album, Harrison's earlier concerns have resurfaced. His initial reluctance and later acceptance highlight both the difficulty of telling a story shared by multiple voices and the enduring need to protect how history remembers the Beatles.